Hey guys, welcome back. Happy Sunday. I am so happy that you're here. If you're new to my channel, my name is Heidi, and on Sundays I invite you into my kitchen where I do a little scratch baking and sometimes a little semi-homemade. Today's recipe is a recipe that started my love and passion for baking scones. Today's recipe is Buttery Raisin Scones. I've been making this recipe for about, well, my son is gonna be 13, and I think I've been making them maybe since he was maybe 2 or 3. So God, has it been 10 years since I've been making this recipe? It has been a great family recipe, and I've kind of alternated at times. I have a daughter, Taylor. She doesn't love raisins, so this is not one of her favorite scones, but I have altered the raisins in the recipe for chocolate chips, and the boys and her love that recipe as well. It is a rainy Sunday morning, and I thought, what better way than to share this recipe with you guys. So if you are new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. Stick around in my corner of the internet. We have a lot of fun here. And don't forget to hit that like button so I know that you like these videos and you want to stick around in my kitchen. So let's not wait any further. Let's go ahead and get right into this recipe. Stick around. All right, let's start off with the ingredients for our buttery raisin scones. For the dry ingredients, we have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2/3 cup of granulated sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. For the wet ingredients, we have 2 large eggs, a 1/2 cup of sour cream, 1/3 cup of salted butter. And I'm using salted butter in this recipe because we don't have salt as the dry ingredient. 1/2 cup of raisins. If you like golden raisins, I'm sure you can use golden raisins. And then we have 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay, so I have my stand mixer. I'm going to combine the flour, sugar, baking powder till that's combined. Then I'm going to add in the butter. Let's go ahead and add the flour, our sugar, our baking powder, and let's go ahead. We're going to combine this for a little bit. Let's mix it up well on low so it doesn't fly all over the place. And while that's mixing, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw in the cubes of butter. There goes the butter. And turn it up a little bit. You don't want the butter to be totally incorporated. We do want to keep it into little bits and pieces. That's what makes the scones flaky and buttery. Okay, so now what I'm going to do in a separate bowl is go ahead and combine the eggs and mix them so they're lightly beaten. I don't overdo it. Add in the sour cream. And then the vanilla. Whisk this until it's nicely incorporated. Again, I don't overmix anything when it comes to baking. At least these scones. All right, so now back to the stand mixer. And we're going to add the wet ingredients into the dry. We'll incorporate this a little, and then we're going to add the final ingredient, our raisins. I cannot wait to have one of these scones. Scraping off the bottom of the bowl just so I can try to get every little bit. These are so delicious. All right, let's turn it on. I'm keeping it on low just until it's combined. And you'll see it come together. Looks perfect. This is such an easy recipe. And like I said, this has just been the start, or this recipe has been the start of my passion for making scones. All right, so now that it's kind of coming together on the sides of the bowl, we're going to add our raisins. Just until it's nicely combined. And we'll mix the rest of this by hand on the counter. All right, as you can see, I have generously floured my countertop. We have our dough, and what I'm going to do, scrape it all out onto my floured surface. This might be a little sticky today, and you will find that when the weather is kind of damp, you may need to add more flour, and I think I'm gonna have to do that today, but we'll see. Just put it all in a nice pile, scrape off every little bit. Look at this beautiful mixture. It's off. I don't waste any bit of this. I make decent sized scones. So when I cut these scones into 8 pieces, there always seems to be one that's on the larger side. So it's so funny because my kids always fight over who gets the largest scone. It never fails. All right, so here we have our dough. I'm going to just add a little flour on the top of this because I can already tell it's a little tacky today. The weather is just rainy, and I don't play with this all that much. As you can see, I just form it into a circle, just continue rolling it, and then just patting it. Don't play with it. You don't want to warm up the butter in your dough. You want them to have, or each piece, should I say, you want each piece to have a nice chunk of butter. I roll it out. I don't know, I would say just continue forming it with your hands from the center out. It's such a beautiful dough. Works beautifully. I would say that's about a 1/2 inch thick. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take a large knife. I'm going to cut this in half. Cut it into half again. And then take each half and go down the center. Now I'm going to take a Silpat lined baking sheet. It doesn't need to be buttered. If you don't have a Silpat sheet or parchment paper, just lightly spray your baking pan. All right, so what I forgot to mention as I was reading the ingredients from my recipe card, but I've added my own little touch to it, is once I have the scones out on the tray, I like to brush them with an egg white. So I've kind of taken one egg white, whipped it up a little bit, and then add some crystallized sugar. Now, if you don't have any crystallized sugar, and it's just sugar that's just larger pieces. So if you don't have any crystallized sugar, you can certainly use regular granulated sugar. Just kind of go in with a little bit of an easier touch. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's egg wash these, sprinkle them with sugar. We're going to place them in the preheated 350-degree oven for about 30 to 33 minutes. I know, 33 you ask? It's just the way it works. And I always tell you guys, when I give you like a window of time, check it right at that first mark. Everybody's oven and altitudes are different, especially if you are out of the United States. So that's why I give you this information. And you want them to be lightly browned because you want them crispy on the outside, but yet soft on the inside. So let's go ahead and prep the scones. All right, our scones are ready to go into the oven. So again, preheated, 350 degrees, and we're gonna bake these for about 30 minutes. So let's go ahead, put them in the oven. Timer. 30. All right, so they are in the oven. We will come back in about 30 minutes. All right, so the scones are cooled, ready to take a bite. So let's go ahead and take a peek at that. Not sure if you could see the crystallized sugar on top, but we're going to break this open. Oh, let's show you. See, lightly browned on the bottom. They are not burnt. You want them to be crispy on the bottom. Let's break it open. Light and fluffy on the inside. I've been making the chocolate chip ones instead of the raisins for a while. My mouth is watering right now. I have my cup of coffee and I can't wait to try the one with the raisins. So light and airy on the inside. The raisins, sweet, buttery. These are so good. This actually brings me back to the first time I made these, and my mother could not believe that I actually made a scone. Well, I shouldn't say she couldn't actually believe, because she knows my passion for baking, but my first time making a scone, and she just thought these were fantastic. So if you make this recipe, guys, I hope you enjoy it. Please comment down below. Let me know if you do try this recipe, what you think of it, and maybe for more delicious scone recipes in the future, I suggest you hit that like button, give me a thumbs up. I thank you so much for watching, sticking around in my kitchen today. It is such a rainy, dreary day. I am going to continue with my cup of coffee. I'm going to finish this scone. I'm actually going to break out some butter, put some butter on this, and just sit and relax. The house is quiet. Believe it or not, it's about, I think 13. I have a few kids who are still sleeping. I guess it's that kind of day. So I like to surprise my family with some goodies. So maybe the aroma will wake those little guys up. So until my next video, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave so you can stick around in my corner of the internet. Be with me on Sundays in my kitchen, and we'll see you soon, everybody. Have a great week.